we're going to be looking at understanding your relationship. It is very important for you to understand your relationship, understand your partner, so that you can have a long-term relationship. The point that you'll be getting in this video is a second to none. So today we're not going to be talking about YouTube. We're going to be diving into relationship, as you all know me to be. So without further ado, let's dive into today's video because I think the intro is already getting too long. In today's video, we have about 8 chapters, and these chapters are very vital points, very vital tips that if applied into your relationship, you're going to see difference and you will definitely attest to it. So you don't want to go anywhere. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So let's take the point one after the other. Chapter 1. Your relationship is not for social media consumptions. In as much as you want to be on the face of the internet, you want people to celebrate you, you want people to see how good your partner is, how your partner is treating you well, it is very important that you keep some things in private. Have you ever wondered why most of the things that we keep in private last longer than the ones that we announce to the world, the ones that we allow people to know? See, anything people don't know about, they can't access it because you've not given them the opportunity, you've not given them the room to know what is going on in your life. You've not given them the room to know where to come in. But once you give people access, they will be able to find a way to destroy. When you keep it in private, it helps people not to know so much, not to know where to come in, not to know where to attack you. And that's the reason why a lot of things that we keep in private last, because what you don't know, you don't know. What you know is what you want to attack. What you know is what you want to talk about. So if you don't give them anything to talk about, people will not have anything to say. It's not everything that you have to shout about. It's not everything that you have to put in the face of social media before you can feel good about yourself, before you can celebrate your partner. I don't know if you get my point, because I understand that your partner is doing this, doing that, you are happy, but then not everything has to be on the face of the internet. If you want your relationship to last long, keep it in private. Most beautiful things that flourish are best kept in private. Some people already know that you have a great partner. It's not until you come on social media platform before you can celebrate them. So if you are the kind of person that shares everything, you want your partner to be on social media, you want them to know what is going on in your life, maybe sometimes just try to tone it down. It may help you one way or the other. Like they say, a word is enough for the wise. If applied, it can help. So let's move on to the next chapter 2. Be careful who you get your advice from. This is very important because these days there are a lot of podcasts dashing out advice, talking about what they know nothing about. Sometimes I wonder if these people are real, if we exist in the same planet, eat the same food, breathe the same air, and also, reason the same way. Because sometimes the kind of advice that they dash out on the podcast are unrealistic. And a lot of us that are very gullible, we just go up every advice we hear, every advice we get on social media, and we try to apply it to our partner. One thing you need to understand is different partners, different application. If your partner is like this, does not mean that every advice you get from people are going to be good for them or are going to be useful. Sometimes filter them, sieve them, pick the ones that works and let the ones that are not working go. You can't apply everything to your partner. Some advice can break your relationship. The best thing you can do for your partner is to sit down and talk it out. This is a relationship that a lot of things are bound to happen. There are times that offenses will happen. A lot of things will go on or go wrong in that relationship. So it's not going to be bed of roses every day. For that reason, you need to know how to sit down and talk it out with your partner. Like there's some kind of people that find it difficult to talk one-on-one with their partners. They're not good in communication, but their own way of communication is by writing, through written words. So you need to know what works for you. If you want to talk one-on-one, do it with your partner. As long as you're letting them know what is going on, it helps to mend that relationship before it gets out of hand. And if you're the type that likes to write a note, send it to your partner. It could be through mail, it could be through WhatsApp, whatever mediums that you're using. Just make sure that you're passing that message across to them that this is what is going on, that is what is going on, and mend it before the enemy comes to build a house in there and invest in there. And the next thing, you're already finding fault in your partner. The next thing you want to break. Christ-centered relationship that God has meant to yield something good. Sometimes impatience is our problem. We just want everything now, now, now. We believe that there's always bigger opportunities. Yes, there's a bigger opportunity out there. There are a lot of people out there. You're not bound to one person. But if you can't do it with this person, who told you that you're not going to repeat the same pattern with another person? So learn to work it out. Human beings are not papers that you use and dump or recycle or whatever. Human beings are not computerized also, and we comprehend, we take corrections if it is something that we can see that yes, obviously we are doing. Learn to talk it out with your partner. Never can tell how much that can help your relationship. And also there are some people, they are very good in sign language, like they are very good in symbols. They may not talk, they may not write, but the signs that they give that they give can obviously tell you that there is something going on. So if you're the kind of person that is used to giving sign with your body, let your partner know. First of all, I'm sure your partner must have known that you're the kind of person who uses sign language. So as long as they know that that is your pattern, that's your way of communication, let them know instead of trying to hide it and trying to be like you're okay, you can take everything. The more you take it, the more you are building a house for the enemy, where very soon, if not addressed, is going to destroy your relationship. The best thing is to talk it out with your partner. I'm sure they will want to listen to you. Many times we shy away from communication, whereas that is what our partners are waiting for in the first place. Because if you don't tell them, they may not know. They may just think that you're overreacting. Sometimes they may think that maybe you have mood swing. And this video is not about only women. I'm talking about both male and female. But on the female side, we women, sometimes we are very used to mood swings. This time we are happy, the other time we are sad, the next moment we are like, we just acting up, and our partner cannot even pick on one because you're misleading them, you are confusing them with your mood swing. They cannot tell if you're happy, they cannot tell if you're sad. So that is why it's very important that you come out, because what you cannot communicate will eat you up, because you cannot communicate it and you're feeling the pain, you're feeling the emotions, you're feeling the tensions. All these things are going to be showing on your face. Everybody that sees you will know that there is something going on somewhere. No matter how you try to hide it, people can tell, especially your partner, who is going to be catching on the vibe. So you want to make sure that whatever you don't find funny, just try as much as possible to communicate with your partner, because it goes a long way and it helps to build a very solid relationship. It helps to create room for improvement. It also helps to close the door, because the enemy is always looking for a way to destroy a very beautiful home, destroy a very beautiful relationship. You don't want to create any door at all that the enemy may want to use to enter into your relationship. That is why it's very important to communicate across with your partner, because some people just give out advice without having a deeper understanding of what you're going through. And that is the reason why it's very important that if you want to get advice from anyone, let them be people that you can vouch for, people who have a sustainable relationship, mentors. And don't get me wrong, there are also some people who are not in a relationship that can give you very vital advice, very vital points based on the kind of wisdom that God has given them. Okay, so don't underrate anyone. Just make sure that you're getting advice from the right people, because social media is very funny. A lot of people just want to set camera as long as they have a lot of money to buy mic. They just want to create a podcast and start talking. It's very funny when I hear a lot of things that they talk about. For me, it doesn't look very realistic. It looks like something that they made up to scare people, like a controversial statement just to get people's attention, just to get audience. Just be careful when you're getting advice from them, because it may be misleading and may actually damage a beautiful relationship that you've been building from the start. We have very wonderful relationship coaches out there. We have the likes of Kingsley Okonkwo, we have the likes of Mommy Adejumo, people that you can vouch for, people that you can tell that they have something going on for them. Okay, so if you're also listening to me too, don't commonize anyone, don't underrate anyone. At least what I'm saying right now is a little advice that if you had to your relationship, it can help you one way or the other. So let's move to the next point on the list. Chapter 3 is learn to improve yourselves. It is very important for you to know that relationship is meant to improve you. Relationship is meant to change you to a better person. You're not supposed to remain in one position. As long as you're in a relationship, both of you are meant to build yourself, become better. At least even a month is enough for you to see difference. You don't have to wait for a year before you can start seeing difference in your life. Iron sharpeneth iron, two shall become one. Your partner is supposed to sharpen you. You are supposed to also sharpen your partner. So if you are not growing in that relationship, if there is nothing to show for in that relationship, I wonder what you're doing in that relationship. I wonder what that relationship means to you. So it's meant to improve you mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, and otherwise. It is very important to know that you're supposed to grow. It is not going to be lovey-dovey every day. There are times that love will not be enough. There are times that all those things that makes you go gaga for your partner may not be enough. What you bring to the table will now be what sustain the relationship. So you are meant to grow in your relationship. You are meant to do better. You're not supposed to remain in one position. Don't say, I'm okay, I'm fine. You met me like this, so why should I change? As long as those things that your partners are telling you to do are very helpful, why shouldn't you? Don't say you are too okay with who you are. Don't say you can't change. Don't say you can't improve. No, life evolves, life changes. So are you too. If your partner will not see the difference in their lives, that tells that you're not doing something or you are doing something wrong. And if you yourself will assess yourself right now and not being able to pinpoint one or two things that has helped you in that relationship or has improved you, it means that something is definitely wrong. Both of you are just playing in that relationship. A relationship is meant to improve you, make you better. You see, some people individually, they are not as good as they are, but immediately they come into a relationship with a particular person, things start changing for them. They start doing what they could not do. They start unraveling, they start evolving, they start improving. That should also be your aim in that relationship. If your relationship is not improving you, your relationship is not making you to grow, please reevaluate it if it is worth it or not. Let's move on to chapter 4, which says relationship is not a business venture. You need to know that everything is not based on vanity. Sometimes what sustains a relationship is who that person is, their character, their being, who they are, their ways, how they treat you, how they treat people, how they treat others, the things that they do, what makes you love them, what makes you like them, what makes them who they are, what makes them unique. It is okay to want them to have all the billions in the world, have all the assets in the world, but a partner with all the assets, but don't have the spiritual assets, don't have the intellectual assets, don't have emotional assets, don't have every internal asset that is the most important. It's very important that you look into that. If they don't have all those things, trust me, you're settling for things that are not the most important thing in the first place. Yes, I understand that the economy can be very terrifying, like you want assurance, like Choma. Okay, I understand, but above all, don't overdo it. Let me tell you something. People are bound to change over time. If your partner cannot afford this, do not have all these assets that you want from them, or the expectations that you want them to be able to meet, trust me, that does not mean that they're not going to be able to do it or give it to you in future or as time passes. Because you met them the way they are does not mean that they're going to remain like that forever. People change. That is why it's very important to know the kind of partner that you're settling with. Are they hardworking? Do they have purpose? Do they have where they are going to? Do they know who they are as person? If you are to strip them of whatever they are depending on as asset, what can help them to come back again, rise up again? All these things are what you'll be looking at, because all those things that you are expecting from them to do for you, it's not going to be there all of the time. Like, it's not going to be, sometimes it may not be enough. Life will play its part. You know how the world is. Today is this, tomorrow is the other way. But can they rise again? Do they have something to fall back on? Do they have something to show for? What makes them who they are? What is their purpose? At least something made them get to where they are, right? Wherever they are right now is because they did something. So that thing is what you should be concerned about. That thing that made them who they are today is what you should be concerned about. It could be skills. Are they business minded? Do they have something to show for? If anything should happen, can they pick themselves back up? All these things are the most important thing that you should be looking at, not what you stand to gain from them. Because when they have all those things, trust me, your future is assured, because those are the things that will help to sustain your relationship. When things happen, they will be able to pick themselves up. And let me tell you something, you also need to build yourself. Don't expect your partner to always do everything. As you're expecting it from your partner, you also need to have your own. You don't expect your partner to be doing everything for you. No, you should be able to fend for yourself. Both of you should be able to fend for yourself. and also help yourselves, where the helps need to be rendered, wherever the helps need to happen or fall in place. It is very important that you should be a person of yourself, being able to stand for yourself, being able to take care of yourself without having to depend 100% on your partner.